it took a lot of time to find the right fabric that we wanted to use. We did a lot of research and work with a lot of factories. So I'm actually from Bangladesh, which is known for a lot of manufacture and textile exports. And so I had a little bit of background. When I always go back to Bangladesh, I was able to visit some of the factories there and learn about what different fabrics are used for, what they're good for, and how they're used. So specifically, the cotton we're using is a long staple cotton. It's a long staple organic cotton specifically, and it results in a stronger, softer, more durable fabric compared to like short staple cotton. So the threads are longer themselves, so it's harder for them to rip or tear. And in this way, they usually get better with washes rather than throwing them away. So the long staple cotton specifically is what we wanted to do to make our garments last longer, so you don't have to throw them away. You can keep wearing them. So if you purchase one of our hoodies, we hope it lasts for a decade or so. And then we have a program where if you donate or pass on your hoodie, you get a discount. So instead of doing Black Friday or feeding into the fast fashion madness, if any of our consumers shows that they have donated any piece of clothing, it doesn't have to be Semi Aquatics, we'll give them a discount because we want to talk about the life cycle of clothes and how you can pass on a piece of clothing rather than throwing it away to someone. And to get back to, and that's why we use long stable cotton. And the other big thing about how is just finding a good source of organic long stable cotton and that there's traceability to what farm. So I had tried manufacturing in Bangladesh for a bit, but the partners we had there just didn't work out. So we had a long search for the manufacturer that eventually ended up landing on in Portugal. And we were able to have a long conversation with them. It was years in the making with them. They showed us some videos of where they grow their cotton. So all their cotton is grown in Portugal, and they have some advanced farming techniques which actually replenish the soil. So there's a lot of layers to it, more than it just being the a long staple cotton. It's about, where the cotton is grown. Is it grown organically? What techniques are the farmers using? I can get a little bit more into that if you're interested.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I want to hear more about it. Please do.
Yeah, okay. So just to get into the nitty gritty, but yeah, if you have any further questions, let me know. So they sort of showed me this advanced farming method, which not all factories that I've seen use, but they have a system for water management. For example, the cotton fields are laser leveled to maximize water use efficiency. So they look at the topography through drones and they can see the specific makeup of the soil. And then the farmers who are trained based on that makeup of the soil can select the optimal method for irrigating the crop. So there's some method called drip irrigation, which directly feeds the plant only, or flood irrigation, which restores moisture to the soil, which has the added benefit of replenishing aquifers, promoting soil health, and even fostering wildlife. And then they have all this GPS and satellite technology. So with the satellite imagery, the fields, you can understand the growth rate of the plants. When lower rates are identified, then they can see that it needs certain nutrient needs. So you're not overfeeding the plant. They identify potential pest issues. So these like satellites and GPS data allow the growers to create like a detailed like history of each individual field and monitor its current state and needs. So that's how sort of like the farmers are using technology to sort of figure out the best way and most efficiently and use the least amount of water to grow this cotton. And also, when the cotton is harvested, typical cotton, it sort of breaks the soil, and you're not able to harvest cotton on that plant again easily. So with the organic cotton we use, it actually has a way of replenishing the soil so they can continuously grow on the same soil, that you don't need to, destroy it, and it's just be able to become sustainable in that nature.
Yeah, and I've heard that with this long staple cotton that, and not only does it feel better and actually get softer as utilize it, but it lasts so much longer, which is really what we need our fashion to do at this point. Because I've had cotton shirts that I've worn a couple times and then they start to look worn, and you're like, well, what do I do with this? I can't really wear it maybe out to a work event. What am I going to do with it? So when you're looking for suppliers like you just mentioned, moving forward, is that going to be something that you're really focused on, that you really want to make sure you're using these, let's call them these quality ingredients? Because